All right, here we are. Hello, everybody. I just noticed. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So I am traveling this week. You'll notice that my background is different. This is my hotel room, and but of course, I didn't want to cancel our live stream. I want to make sure and still connect with you guys. Because we are traveling, we are using StreamYard. Oh, I see that Joel just posted in the chat. We're using StreamYard instead of Ecamm, which is, so you'll, again, just like you have to give Ecamm permission, you have to give StreamYard permission for me to be able to see who you are. So on my end, it just says Facebook user, same as always with just like we're doing with Ecamm. So you have to go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that I can see who you are. And Kurt did it. Done. Excellent. Good morning. So we are, as I mentioned, I'm traveling. That's why I'm using StreamYard. And because I'm in my hotel, good morning, Jesse. Because I'm in my hotel, I have no idea Joel's a little concerned about the speed of the internet. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Good morning, Levon. And good morning, Jackie. I almost called you Jasper. Her name's Jackie Casper. So Jasper, I think, actually is a great nickname for you, Jackie. Anyway, so we are, so it's a StreamYard, so we don't know exactly how it is, and it's in the hotel, so we don't know what's going to happen with the internet connection, and I'm not as familiar with StreamYard, but I used to use this all the time. Like, this used to be our streaming software of choice, but then we had so many technical difficulties with it because there was always a delay, it was slow, and all that. And so that's why we switched to Ecamm, is because we were having so many problems with StreamYard. But StreamYard is web-based, so when I'm on the road, that's why I can use it's better to use StreamYard rather than Ecamm. So, because Ecamm's in the studio, on the computer there, and all that stuff. So anyway, so you may have noticed I did not send out the email this morning. Usually I send out an email with the agenda for today. I did not send that out. And if you are a member of the gym and you were looking for the exercise of the week inside your account, then you'll notice that it isn't there. And that's because we're trapped. It's a perfect storm. So number one, we're traveling. Number two, I had this brilliant idea for today's exercise, and it required me to build the exercise from scratch. And honestly, I haven't personally built an exercise from scratch in a really long time. I have a team now, and so the team builds most of the exercises, and we have been doing the Pro Advisor challenges, which that's from Intuit. So building this exercise from scratch, it was taking me a long time. And then I had a meeting this morning, and so it didn't get done. So this is what we're going to do today is I'm just going to walk you through it, because I figured out all the moving pieces. And then later tonight, I will get it posted, and I'll email everybody so that you have the link to the exercise, because what we're going over is super important and I am super excited about it. But before we dive in, I need to do my intro. So let me share my screen. And that's not what I meant to be on. What I meant to be on is right here. Welcome to the QBO Gym Locker Room. So welcome. My name is Margie Remmers-Davis, and I am the creator of the Fast and Easy Way to QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor certification. And this is the live stream that we do every week inside of our free Facebook group called the QBO Gym Locker Room. And let me just turn my cursor on so you can see my Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the QBO Gym Locker Room, which if you are on this call live, then you're already in the locker room watching it. So, but if you are later watching this on YouTube, the link is down below for you to join our free Facebook group, which is your spot for hands-on practice using QuickBooks Online. That is all we do. Hands-on practice, hands-on practice, hands-on practice. So as a member of the locker room, then you automatically get a free getting started course. This course is going to teach you how to sign up for your free QBO accountant account, how to navigate the locker room. I'm sorry, navigate QBOA terms, like what's the difference between an invoice and a bill. You're going to get hands-on exercises to do that. You're going to learn how to access the sample company, which is a playground where we practice all of our exercises. Okay, so all of that with the free getting started course. And then as a member of the locker room, inside here, you have access to over 100 free exercises, absolutely free. And people are always asking me where to find them. So what you want to do is you want to go to the featured section, which is right here. And then there is a post here, the welcome post has the link to the free exercises where you can get tons of practice using QuickBooks Online. Also, as a member of the locker room, you get a free exercise of the week when you join our weekly live stream, which is, did you hear Joel sneeze? We got some allergies going on here. Welcome to spring. Anyway, so is there a plan to make videos inside the QBO gym? Yes, she is working on the April exercise videos right now. So I imagine those will be midweek. All of the April videos will be ready, I think. So anyway, going back to our, I got sidetracked from sneezing and questions. All right, so weekly live stream here every Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, where we go over the exercise of the week. Now, the exercise of the week is a feature of the QBO gym. And the QBO gym is different than the locker room. In the locker room, you get free exercises, 100 free exercises. And these are, they're just individual, one-off, learn this feature exercises, okay? We also have available, which is not free, and that's not the right link. This is the QBO gym, which Joel has already posted in the chat. It's like a flight simulator, but for bookkeepers. This is where you actually get to pretend to be a bookkeeper for Craig, our fictitious business owner. And you have, let me just make this a little bit bigger for you. There we go. And so you actually get to sit down and you learn, you get to be a bookkeeper from beginning to end. You process the money that has come in, you go through the bank feeds, you send invoices, you process payments. Every month there is a focus feature. So in the first month here in February, there is the focus is on estimates and purchase orders. So you'll learn how to do those and create invoices from the estimates and purchase orders. And then you always are reconciling accounts, running reports, and it's as if you are the bookkeeper for the month. And you have in the QBO gym, you have a full year, so you can get a full year of experience using QuickBooks Online as if you were a bookkeeper for a full year. We are developing a certification. I know that I've been talking about this for months now. I don't know why It's not done yet. I don't know why it's not done yet. But last week I said, what is the story on this? And they said, we'll check. And I know there has been some staff turnover at Experientify. They're the ones that host the course. And they're the ones that have to plug in the certificate so that we can award it. And I know there's been some staff turnover there, so I don't know if that's related. But anyway, so yes, you will get a certificate saying that you have a year's worth of experience, which actually in real-time hours, it only takes you about 42 hours to get through an entire year's worth of the gym. So yes, Sherry asked, the gym is a $69 a month subscription currently. And I had to laugh at Kurt, who said, oh no, what happened? There we go. Who said you should call them fun streams instead of live streams because these are the best calls all week. Thank you, Kurt. All righty. So that the exercise of the week is a feature of the QBO gym. The reason we have the exercise of the week is all of the work that you do in the QBO gym is sent out to BooksMatch, which I don't have up to demo. But BooksMatch is our dashboard that tracks all of the skills that you have earned, and you can show yourself off to people who would want to hire you to be able to confirm that you have learned all of these skills. In BooksMatch, we track, actually, let me take this off real quick. In BooksMatch, we track your knowledge, consistency, and speed. So the knowledge is the total amount of knowledge that you have gained. The consistency is how often you are upskilling, and then the speed is how many skills you earn in every week. Okay, so if you have completely finished all of the exercises, which, you know, there's a whole year worth of exercises plus we're building out year 2. If you're completely full with, if you're completely done all of the exercises and there's nothing left to do, then your consistency rating will drop. And so that's why we have an exercise of the week, which is its kind of own course. It opens up once you have earned 250 points inside the gym, then it opens up the exercise of the week, but you don't actually need it until you have completed everything else. Okay, so let me just show you what that looks like. So here is our exercise of the week. It is a, I should have opened up this other page. It is its own course inside of BooksMatch. And then you go in here and you see all of the exercises. But as I mentioned, today's exercise is not in there. So, and I don't even have a link for you to follow along. So you're just going to follow along. You can follow along easily while I demo what we're going to be talking about. And then as soon as I get it plugged in, I will email everybody and you'll be able to do it. And those of you who need the points, can go ahead and earn the points for doing it. All right. Somebody asked a question. Have you done an exercise on reconciling credit cards with main and sub accounts? And the answer is yes. That is, let's see if I know off the top of my head. I don't. Let me share my screen. If you are inside the gym, you can go here to see all credit cards and or these are all of the exercises, and then you can go to credit cards. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why it didn't. Corporate credit card setup. So September. Yeah, I thought it was September. September is that month where we talk about that. Did that open? Yeah, okay, that opened in a new window. All righty. So that was, I don't know who you were, but that's the answer to that. Somebody says, who doesn't need points? And those are the people who have access to all of the who haven't done the content, the rest of the content yet. So if you have if you still have other exercises to do those exercises. You don't need to do the exercise of the week. The exercise of the week is really primarily for the people who have finished everything and just need every week they need something to do in order to keep their stats high. All right, sorry that is confusing. All right, so, and that is, I don't know what, Erica, I don't know which of those questions you were, but you're welcome. All right, so let's actually, so now we've done our intro, let's actually talk about the exercise of the week. Now, I have since January, our exercise, well, we started doing the exercise of the week in January. Oh no, in February, I guess we started because we had the gym actually runs February through January. So we started creating the exercise of the week in February of this year, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, and we have been working through the Pro Advisor challenges. Now, the Pro Advisor challenges are exercises that are provided by Intuit inside your QBOA account. And that's what we've been doing this year. And what I said we would do until those are finished, which would be sometime around June, and then we would start working on other things. However, one of my favorite, well, not one of, but my favorite podcast in the universe, my business podcast in the universe, is the unofficial QuickBooks Online Accountants podcast, which is hosted by Hector Garcia, who you all know from YouTube. He is like the king of QBO YouTube videos, and he's amazing. He's the creator of Write Tool. Many of you use Write Tool, which is a Chrome extension that you can use with QuickBooks Online. And then Alicia Katz-Pollock, who calls herself the QBO rock star. I think that's what she says. She owns Royal Wise, which does a lot of training. She actually wrote textbooks. She writes textbooks for QBO for universities. And so they have this podcast where they just talk about QuickBooks Online. They just talk about new features, changes, announcements, how to do stuff in QuickBooks Online. The two of them, like, I know you guys think that I know a lot about QuickBooks Online. Like, I know a drop in the water compared to individually each of those. You put them together and it's just astounding how much knowledge they have about QuickBooks Online. So I love to listen to this. I'm always learning, tips and tricks. And they said in a recent podcast that I heard or that I was listening to, they said that they get 500 to 600 downloads per issue or per podcast. And I thought, that is ridiculous. They should have tens of thousands of listeners. Okay. Maybe people are listening and just not like subscribing, to it. I don't know, but y'all, like, I need to help them. I want to 10x their listenership. Okay. So I want you guys all right. So it is called the unofficial, I'm going to share it on the screen. Okay. The unofficial QuickBooks, and it's not QuickBooks Online, it's QuickBooks because they talk about both desktop and online. The unofficial QuickBooks Accountants podcast. And you can find this wherever you get podcasts. Okay. This right here, I'm actually, is the UQB show. uqb.show. Actually, Joel, if you could put that in the chat, uqb.show. Oh, somebody else did already. Anyway, thank you, whoever did that. Okay. So, so love this podcast. We need to just give them so much love. There are 500,000 QuickBooks Online Pro advisors in the United States. 500,000. Okay. If 1% of the pro advisors listen to the podcast, that would be 5,000 listeners. That would 10x their current listenership. Okay. So I was listening to one of their issues. They did a series of podcasts all about, let me take this off for a second. They did a series of podcasts all about desktop to online migrations. Okay. So Alicia has developed this, she has developed this, I don't know if she has a course, but she has a big checklist that she uses internally for her team about all the things to do and check when somebody does a migration. I guess they said that the reason that they started talking about this on the podcast was somebody asked a question inside of a Facebook group somewhere of, why do you charge for a migration, for doing a migration for somebody, when all you have to do is click 2 buttons? You just click 2 buttons and then you do the migration. And Alicia saw that post and she said, because there's so many things there's so many things that this is a golden opportunity when you transition from, she calls it concierge service. There's a golden opportunity when you help with somebody migrate from desktop to online, both training on differences and cleanup. And they talked about things that you should do in desktop to clean up before you migrate, and things that you should be looking at. Okay. So I was listening to this one right here. I thought that I was on track with, I thought that I was up to date on all of them. Why did I lose my cursor? I don't know why I lost my cursor, but anyway, there we go. So this was the continuing conversation, reorganizing your lists in QBO. So they were talking, this is about cleanup, but specifically to a migration. And I was listening to this, and Hector brought up a couple of points that I thought, I need to make an exercise about this. People need to understand the underbelly of what happens when you delete an account in the chart of accounts. And so that is the exercise of the week, is we are going to be talking about what happens when you delete an account in the chart of accounts. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. There are 4 scenarios that we are going to walk through that Hector talked about on the podcast. Okay, so the first scenario is if you create an account in the chart of accounts and delete it immediately. Like you created it as a mistake. You created it, oops, and you delete it before you have any transactions in it at all. And he said, you think that, oh, there's nothing bad about that, right? But there is. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to go to Accountant Tools and Chart of Accounts. Again, don't forget, I have built the exercise. I'm just editing it. I need to post it. You'll have the exercise. I'm going to give it to everybody, even if you weren't, even those who aren't on live. Usually I don't do that, but this time around, I'm going to do that. Give it to everybody. So here I am in my chart of accounts. Okay. And let's say I'm going to create a new account, and I'm going to call this accountant. Okay, accountant. And this is an expense. Say, hey, you should have an accountant account in the chart of accounts. Okay. So we are going to go legal and professional fees, and I'm going to save this account. So I created this account, and then I went, oh, I noticed, oops, there is actually, Emily, let me use this filter. There is actually already an account called accounting. Okay, so I created an account called accountant. There is an account called accounting. So, oops, I don't need this one that I just created. Okay, so now I'm going to make it inactive. Okay, yes, I'm going to make it inactive. Well, as you know, or you should know, whenever you don't actually ever delete anything. Okay, so that account is still hanging out there as inactive. Okay, so and I can see it. So let's go back. I'm going to take this. Okay, so actually it should have disappeared in the list. Okay, so the accountant that I added disappeared. I can go to this, what they call the baby gear, the small gear, and I check include inactive, and you see that it's there. It says deleted in parentheses. Sorry, let me close this. And I can make it active again. Okay, but let's leave it deleted and see how this affects reports. Okay, so this is an expense account, which means it's going to show up on the P&L. So I'm going to go Accountant Tools Reports and run a profit and loss. Now remember, this account that we created didn't have any had zero transaction. We didn't add any transactions to it. Okay, so the balance on this is 0. Okay, so here I am in my profit and loss. Can you see that okay? Let me make it. There we go. Okay, so here's my profit and loss. And if I go to the Customize button, you may recall that there is an option whether you want to include accounts that have a 0 balance. Okay, the default is to not include the ones that have a 0 balance. Okay, so that's what this means, except 0. So don't show the ones with a 0 amount. Okay, so all of these have values. Okay, so I'm going to click Customize, and I'm going to uncheck that and hit Run Report. Okay, so now a bunch of extra accounts showed up that have 0 values. Normally you don't see those unless you uncheck that box. Okay, so now we still want to accept the 0 amount. Okay, so now it should be only those that have numbers in them. Okay, well, also in the customization, there is this thing right here that says show non-zero or active only. If I select this, I can say show non-zero. This is another way to show the non-zero ones. But if I do this, it's only I can only show active accounts. If I select all, show all, then it will now include inactive or deleted accounts. Okay, so now I have selected all right here. Okay, and I run the report. Now that accountant field, even though it's deleted, is here. Okay, there's no value there, but it's showing up right here. Now, there is no way to say I want deleted ones, but only those that have values. Like there's no way to say I don't want this, I want this to show up only if it had a value there. There's no way to do it. Okay. So what, sorry. So what Hector recommends is, and this is what he talked about on the podcast, is he recommended creating a parent account called deleted accounts and putting all of these deleted accounts in there so that they are at the bottom and they can be collapsed if you ever want to display all of the accounts, because otherwise they're just going to be scattered throughout and you can't get rid of them. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So we're going to go back to the chart of accounts. Okay, now the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to undelete it. Oh, sorry. I have to show my inactive. Include inactive. Okay. Okay, so here's my deleted one. So the first thing I have to do is make it inactive. Make it active again. Okay. Now I'm going to create a new account called deleted accounts. Okay. And I'm going to make this an other expense so that it's down at the bottom of the report. And then the detail type, I'm just going to say other miscellaneous expense. Okay. All right. Now what I want to do is there's deleted accounts. I want to move this accountant underneath deleted accounts. So this deleted account is the parent account. Okay. In order to do that, the account type and the detail type have to be the same as the parent. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit that. I'm going to make that other expense same as the other one, other miscellaneous expense. I'm going to save that. Okay, and oops, I forgot to make it a sub account. And I'm going to make this a sub account and select deleted accounts and select save. Okay, so now I have my accountant account underneath deleted accounts, and I can make deleted accounts inactive, which will automatically make the accountant account underneath it inactive. And then when you go to reports, profit and loss, okay, and again, this is only an issue if you want to do this right here. If you want to show all of the accounts, now what's going to happen is that they are down at the bottom. Okay. And here's the important thing that Hector was saying is that you want to collapse this. Okay. So you're going to collapse that. And then that way, if you have a bunch of those, they're all together. Okay. So that's scenario one. The second scenario is if you merge accounts. Okay, so let's go back to the chart of accounts. And we have several fast and easy QBO exercises for merging accounts using this bookkeeper and accounting account. So I'm going to find bookkeep. Okay, so here's bookkeeper. Currently as underneath legal and professional fees. Okay, and if I run the report, yep, I got it. It's modern view. You can see that there is this one transaction in there for bookkeeper. Well, let's say, I don't really think that a bookkeeper needs to be its own account. It can just be merged with the accounting account, the one that we were just looking at, right? So I've got this accounting. This is the account. This is the reason I deleted that accountant account. Oh, there is one called accounting. Okay. So accounting. So I'm going to merge the bookkeeper account with the accounting account. So most of you know how to do this. You want to take the account that you don't want. So this is the account that we don't want that we're going to merge into accounting. And we're going to edit that. Several of you have done this already, okay? And what you do is you change the name to be the name of what you want. So here's under our preview. We have legal and professional fees. We have accounting, bookkeeper, and lawyer. And so what we're going to do is we're going to rename this accounting. And when I tab out of it, it'll make it red, say, whoop, there's 2 there. Then I click save, and it says, whoa, you already have an account with that name. Would you like to merge the 2? Okay, and I say yes. Okay, so I say yes, and then I save. So now what has happened, no more bookkeeping. Now I go to accounting. Here's my accounting. When I run that report, here is that transaction, that check number 12, Books by Bessie, that was previously under bookkeeper. Now it's under accounting. Okay, so what it has done is has taken that transaction, moved it under the other one. But as Hector pointed out on the podcast, that bookkeeping account didn't really disappear. It's still there. All QBO did was move its transactions to the other account. That bookkeeper account still exists. So if I go back to my chart of accounts and I go to the baby gear here and include inactive, I can see right here, legal and professional fees, accounting, look, and there's the account that I just deleted, okay, and I can make it active again, but it's not going to move the transaction back into bookkeeper. It's just going to be now an empty account, okay? And what happens on the profit and loss? Well, you guessed it. We're going to go to the profit. Oops. We're going to go to our profit and loss again. I'm going to customize it to include all. And here I have it right here. Even though there's nothing there, I can't turn that off. I cannot use that checkbox to take it off. So what I would want to do is put this down at the bottom under deleted accounts. This is what Hector does. Now, I mean, obviously you'll see that there's a small amount of work to do this. And how often do you actually customize the account to show the inactive accounts? It's not, it's not that big of a deal until it's a big deal. So this is not something necessarily you're going to have as part of your regular workflow, but it is going to be a thing that if it does become an issue, now you'll know what to do about it. That's really what we're talking about here. Okay. So what I have to do, I'm going to what we want to do is we want to move that bookkeeper, that inactive bookkeeper, under deleted accounts. First thing that I have to do is I can't do anything with it while it's deleted. Okay. I have to make it active again in order for me to do anything with it. Okay. So I have to find it again. So I'm going to make it inactive. And I just want to highlight this comment. After all these years, I didn't realize a merged account still remained. I thought that would be a clean solution to make a redundant account disappear. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. This is why the podcast is so valuable. I didn't realize that either. That's why we're doing all the stuff that I'm talking about today. You can see now why I was so excited to create this exercise, so you could practice these things that Hector was talking about hands-on. Okay. So So yeah, exactly. Um, Kurt says, wouldn't it be nice if QBO would automatically change the account and detail types to match the parent account after a warning message? Yeah, that would be nice. Submit the feedback. Okay, so we made the bookkeeper account active again, but now we also have to make that delete. We have to make that deleted accounts. I don't know why I can't ever find it. I'm just going to write in here. Deleted accounts. We also have to make this we also have to make this active again in order to put that bookkeeper underneath it. Okay, so now that's okay. That's good. Now I'm going to go back to that bookkeeper one. I'm going to edit it. Okay. Remember, what we have to do is we have to change. We can't just change it to deleted. Okay. It's deleted is not in here. It's only, well, let me see what happens. Yeah, we can't add it. We have to make this, I don't know why these are, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. So this is other expense. Yes, we're changing it. We're going to change it to other miscellaneous expense. And now we're going to put it under deleted accounts. Okay. Yeah. It's there. You just can't see it because because it doesn't match the word deleted, but bookkeeper is under here. So now all I have to do is make the parent company inactive again. Okay, so make this inactive. Yes. And because bookkeeper was underneath it, it made that inactive also. Okay, so now we've got all of these. Let's take a look at our profit and loss one more time. And, profit and loss. Okay. And again, we're going to customize it. We're going to put this as all. Okay. And then now down at the bottom is all of those deleted accounts. Okay. So all of these deleted accounts. And again, the important point, the reason that Hector does this is so that you can collapse it and those just disappear. Those aren't there anymore. Okay. All right. So now we've talked about creating hold on. Okay. So now we've talked about creating a brand new account and automatically deleting it before it has any transactions. Then we've talked about merging an account, which effectively creates an account without any transactions. Well, what happens if we delete an account that does have transactions? Okay, so let's see what happens when we do that. I'm going to go back to the chart of accounts. And there are a number of accounts called maintenance and repair. Okay, so they have an income account that's income and repair, or maintenance and repair. They have an expenses account that's maintenance and repair, and then they have this one here, which is all by itself. Okay, so let me run this report, and you'll see what's under it. So I'm going to run that report. And you'll notice that it has a transaction here from Chin's Gas and Oil, check number 70 for $185. And then Diego's Road Warrior Body Shop for $755. Okay, so those have this account has transactions associated with it. Okay, so if I go back to the chart of accounts, and I make this one inactive, make inactive. Okay, so now it's deactivated. Don't you love it how Some places it's called deleted. Some places it's called inactive. And now we've just learned that some places, oh shoot, I haven't been sharing my screen the whole time. Oh my gosh, you guys. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Shoot. Joel's sitting right next to me. He didn't even tell me. Okay, let me undo that so that you can see it. Sorry. Okay, so this is the one. I'm gonna make it active again. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so so maintenance and repair, run report. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go again. Chin's Gas and Oil. Chin's Gas and Oil for $185. Diego's Road Warrior Body Shop for $755. Okay, so this account has two accounts underneath it. Okay, so, or it has not accounts, transactions. It has two transactions associated with it. Okay, so if I go and delete that account, this is, what did I say? Maintenance. Okay, so this is the account right here. So I'm going to make it inactive. Okay, make it inactive. Now let's run the report and see what happens. And here's what I was just saying about how it says deactivated. So in some places it says inactive, some places it says deleted, and now we learn that someplace it says deactivated. Oh, QBO, get your act together. All right, so I'm going to go back to reports and the profit and loss, and notice what happened. It's still listed there. It's still listed there. These two transactions, $185, this is the sub account, $755, even though it says deleted, okay? So this one, it's going to, if you are running a report, this is a profit and loss, and because these transactions fall within the dates of the profit and loss, it's not going to not show them. It's going to show them, and it's going to have the words deleted next to it. Okay. Now I can just, I can say, oops, there are transactions associated with that. So let me make that active again, because I don't want that. I mean, we don't want to move them down into our deleted accounts. The whole purpose of our deleted account, oh, you can't even see it because didn't flip the switch, but the whole purpose of our deleted accounts account is when we're showing inactives that are 0. Okay, so this one is an inactive, but it's not 0. So we still want to see it. And in fact, since it has transactions associated with it, I don't want to, I shouldn't be deleted at all. Luckily, it wasn't fully deleted, so I can reinstate it. I can make it active again. So I'm going to go to chart of accounts and include inactive, maintenance. Okay. So I can just make this active. Now, you'll remember that had a sub account. So let's take a look at what happened. In the reports, profit and loss, look what happened. Okay, the main one, this is the one I just reinstated, no longer says deleted, but the sub account that it had still is deleted. So I would have to go into the chart of accounts and find this one and make that active again. Okay. All right. So we talked about accidental accounts with no transactions. We've talked about a merge, which creates an account with no transactions. We've talked about deleting an account that does have transactions, but the one we just worked on, all this time we've been working with profit and loss accounts. What happens if we're doing a balance sheet account? Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm remembering to do it this time. All right, let's go back to chart of accounts. Okay, and just for the purposes of this exercise, this / demonstration, we are going to we're going to delete the savings account. Obviously, in a real life, you wouldn't delete the savings account, but that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do just so you can see what happens. Okay. So here's my savings account. QuickBooks balance has $800. The bank balance supposedly is $200, but we don't control the bank balance. So this is not the column to pay attention to. We're paying attention to the QuickBooks balance. Okay. So now I'm going to make this inactive. By the way, do you know why they all say reduces usage next to them? That's because each subscription level comes with a set number of available chart of accounts or available accounts in the chart of accounts. And so if you make them inactive, then you have more slots. All right. So I'm going to say yes, make this account. Oh, that says deactivate right there also. All right. So let's go to the reports. This is a balance sheet account. Okay, so it's not there. If I go to customize and I show all, okay, there it is, showing as 0. It's deleted. And just like the bookkeeper account, I can reinstate it. Okay, so if I go back to chart of accounts, go to inactive, there's my savings account. I can make it active again. But again, it didn't pull back in those transactions that were deleted. Remember when we merged the accounts with the bookkeeper, those transactions that were assigned to the bookkeeper went under the one we merged it into. It went into the accounting bucket. Okay. So where did the transactions from the savings account go? I would give you time to think about the answer. Some of you may know, because I don't know, maybe you're in the cleanup class, or we've talked about this briefly in some of our other courses. The answer is opening balance equity. Okay, it moved that amount because it didn't know where it came. Like the money itself didn't disappear. We still have to record it. But opening balance equity, Jackie got it. Yay! Opening balance equity is that bucket that QBO uses when it doesn't know where else to put it. Okay? And so it put it in opening balance equity. So here's opening balance equity. I view the register. And here is that $800 that came from savings. So it moved from savings into opening balance equity. So the point that Hector made on the podcast is, if you are planning to delete an account that has transactions associated with it, a balance sheet account that has transactions associated with it, you want to have a plan for those transactions. You want to reclassify those transactions out before you delete that account, because if you just delete it, it's going to go to OBE. Okay, so but there's an easy way for us to handle this. So let's go back to the chart of accounts. Okay, and let's look at the register for the savings account. Notice that it did not actually move the transactions themselves. Okay, in the case of our bookkeeper, it did actually physically move, it reclassified those transactions over to the accounting one, okay? That's not what happened here. What happened here was QBO created a new transaction. See, it says created by QuickBooks Online. What else does it say here? Created, can I make that bigger? To adjust, what does it say? For deletion, okay? So this was created by QuickBooks Online. It added this. So what do we have to do? All we have to do is delete this. And boom, go back to the chart of accounts. Boom, that $800 is back in the QuickBook balance. Again, don't worry about the bank balance being different because we don't control the bank balance. This is just hung over because it's a sample company. If this were real life, this would actually come from the bank. We don't control this. This is what matters. This now is back in the savings account. Okay, that's it, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was so juicy. Can you see why you need to be listening to the podcast? And I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing when they talk about stuff, I will create a hands-on exercise so that you can actually do it and see it of what they're talking about. So that's the exercise of the week. I will finish my edits. I'll get it published. I will send it out to you guys. Guys, listen to that podcast. And then won't that be great if when you listen to their podcast and then you come on the live stream and then you get a hands-on exercise, you know, or not even on the live stream, just being in the gym, the exercise of the week, and you get the exercise to go with it and your brain goes, ching, ching, ching. Oh, that's what they were talking about. That's what they were talking about. So I have another one coming up. I don't know if it'll be next week because I personally don't know how to do what Hector said can be done, which I was like, what? That's so cool. That's so cool. So once I figure out how to do what he described, I will create an exercise for it. And then you guys can ching, 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 put it together in your brain. All right. So super, super fun today. I'm so glad we did this. Okay. So that is it. Also, I will put together a marketing prompt. I am not going to go over the marketing. I don't have it written yet. So, but when it shows up in the exercise of the week and when I send the email, I will include a marketing prompt so that you can talk about it so that when you are talking to business owners or other bookkeepers or whatever, you know what you're doing. So anyway, all right. Yay. So many people giving me love. Thank you. Great meeting today. Wow, great stuff. Great lesson. Thank you. This was so helpful. Kurt says he loved the format today. I know, right? I love this so much. Amy says this was awesome. I mean, I could just spend my entire career making hands-on exercises for like tips and tricks that I hear from other people, watching YouTube videos. In fact, let me know if you see a YouTube video from somebody, whether it's Hector or anybody else, and you're like, they said this, I didn't understand it. Can I get a hands-on exercise for that? Heck yeah, we'll add it to the list. We'll add it to the exercise of the week, and it'll be good stuff. So anyway, all right. So that's it for today. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. I am here in Utah for a week. So Monday, our mindset call will be also from here. Those of you who are in the cohort for cleanup, you guys know that I'll be here for that also. And so anyway, so yeah. All right. You guys have a great week. I will talk to you soon. I can't wait to hear your success story.